Good luck, have fun.
See this crazy shit?
Crazy shit.
Hey, Muffin.
Cheers, Muffin.
Muffin!
Thanks for getting your muffin out for us.
Yeah, mate, you too.
Alright guys, secret run, shoot him with bullets. That's north, north.
I'll be in the west
Moving
corner of
south.
the
Anybody want to stay in the crater? Just
And the mic on. There we go. Hello and welcome to VR Master League Week 4. Beginners v Boss Fight. Boss Fight are Marsoc at the moment. It is Quarantine 1, Round 1, best of 3 maps. We have a 4-man fire squad heading east from our crater spawn and 1 man just holding up that crater. Very interesting stuff. So Operator, Scooby-Doo, Weather Balloon and Lonely Viper are going to be heading up this southern flank. Alright. He's saying we might have woods in the crater just right at the plane top. I believe that's what he said. I might have misheard him. But we're actually seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Volk people all taking up that north. Very tight defense on what is a truck objective. Now, I believe we have Tangled here on the stream too. Tangled, are you there? No, we don't have Tangled, but that's okay. We'll continue on. So we have...
I do, mate. I am here. Sorry about that.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this boss fight beginners match. This is going to be some good stuff.
Absolutely. So we have Icy Woods still back at Crater. I feel like what's going to be happening is Viper and the rest of the fire squad are going to be putting some pressure on this team here in the north from the southern and western side. And then Icy Woods is going to use the opportunity and confusion to come in for some kind of flanking maneuver. He might be our capper. He might be the guy looking at that objective thinking, yep, that one's for me. I know the code. So let's chuck a camera down on the objective and see if they're able to put some pressure on. Viper and his fire team not quite pushing yet. They're just focusing on crossing the road. We do have one person on up on the rooftop, but it doesn't look like they're in a position to see anyone cross. Let's just have a look what Smoyle's point of view has got. We've got the call. Peasley actually is watching the cross from south side. Going to gas station area, so it has been called. Let's just check the map here. Initial shots out. As you can see on the map, we still have that person at crater spawn. He might be going for a flank through this way once the fire starts. Peasley was able to see them crossing near Blue Car, so he's called out. He's thinking they're heading this way up the west. So we have a very good defense for the attack that's about to happen. It'll be interesting to see if Viper can get some Boss Fight can get some cheap kills and hopefully be able to put some pressure on this defense, which will allow Icy Woods to come in for the flank. Tangled, what are you thinking about this technique? 4-1 split.
It's actually a pretty good technique. What we've got here with the guy hanging out in the crater is a block for any of the enemy team trying to flank them. But also, he can sneak in, do the cap, or put sneaky pressure on them by shooting down that lane.
Alright, initial shots out. They are the second shots of the game. First shots from Boss Fight. We have Kenzai shooting towards the south. No hits just as yet. If we bring up the map, you can see... Oh, we do have one cross. You are absolutely correct. That looks like that was that Peasley down? No, that was Rooftop. Let's just confirm that over on the west here. You are correct. I missed that one completely. So very unfortunate death there. And that's what we're talking about. A nice cheap kill. So now it is 4v5. The pressure is mounting on this defense. We have 2 minutes left though. And there goes the alarm. You better start pushing that attack. So we have Viper at center burning building. they're all pushing through the middle. They're not too worried about this rooftop. I would dare say that Rooftop's going to be able to get one kill down from Smiles. Not sure who he took out, but one easy kill from Smiles, and great little technique here, dropping down so he won't be able to take any fire. Smiles has called it out. Another easy kill for Smiles. He's picked off 2. Looks like we've got one player eyeing off that rooftop. Smiles just calling off an enemy is here, but I think he's mishearing footsteps. I don't think that is the case. So we have, is that Weather Balloon and Operator stuck at this fuselage. Very surprising. I thought they would have tried to flank towards the gas station. Little bit of a missed opportunity here. And we also have IC Woods down as well. Missed that call out, but as you can see, he was waiting for the fire to attack. And he was taken down very quickly by, it looks like, Woods 43. So very disappointing there. Last one Marsoc player left. And this rooftop is absolutely dominating. Beginners 1. Smiles getting 4 kills. You can see. Let's just have a look on the map here. If we bring it up, Smiles did not move from this area. He got a couple of kills right here, and a couple of kills right here, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 kills, and then it was just Woods picking up the last kill. He was here shooting straight down this alleyway. That rooftop just caused so much damage. It was a promising attack initially, don't you think, Tangled? And it just fell through.
Definitely. The roof attack, how he was holding that roof, just a sort of spray and pray. He's practiced that, and that's some high-level stuff, laying down, being able to pop up, shoot, and get back down, and do it accurately, and not get tagged himself. So he's definitely a master of that roof.
Yeah, absolutely. Very disappointing. Maybe boss fight should have been a little bit more spread out. It was like a little bit like shooting ducks in the pond there. He was just popping his head, taking his shot, dropping back down. You don't see a lot of people laying down on rooftop, and they really should. You have that lip of the rooftop, which allows you to get in a nice hidden position. Most people crouch. If you crouch on rooftop, somebody can see you somewhere. I'm just going to drift around this map and set up some cameras. Tangled, what did you get out of that initial round?
I think just it was a nice warm-up round, I think, for beginners, and I think boss fight learned a few lessons, and they're not going to probably take as many chances this round to try and actually put a run on the board.
All right, so we have the ambulance objective. We see Volk coming in for the defense. Let's just have a look at the map, see what Marsoc or beginners are going to do for their attack. We'll just jump in on the comms. Missed the beginning of those comms, but let's jump on the map. So we have, again, 4-1 split. It's a bit early to see if this is going to stay 4, if it's going to split off into a 2-2-1. But we have one member heading off the north. No doubt they're going to want to try and take that rooftop again, so it'll be interesting to see there. Looks like we're going to have some early contact. I'll just come back over to this area. It looks like we're going to have some early contact into the Sahara here. We have 2 people covering off this area. There we go. One down. One Volk down. Beginners putting some high pressure on boss fight already. 3 points for them. 4-5. You can see Dr. Killinger taking up that center house. Lonely Viper knows where he is. Weather Balloon knows where he is. Neither of them have a shot though, so this is more pressure and more distraction. As we check the map, we can see a bit of a shallow flank as that player moves slowly towards the roof. Hopefully they're able to get a flank maneuver going or apply some pressure via junkyard. We see that burning building in the center of the map also taken up by a defender, so it's going to be hard for them to sort of push through the middle. They're going to have to go for a deep west flank, whoever that northern player is. Moving very slow. It looks like he's expecting a flank himself, but no. Boss Fight has decided to go a tighter defense. Viper here and Weather Balloon just cutting off these 2 players. Now, you got to remember, from Marsoc's point of view, they've killed 1 person. So they would have... a normal player would assume this is a free path. It's open. But they're not taking that risk. Tangle, can you speak on the idea of maybe just holding off a push even though you get a kill?
That is, yeah, that is... That is true. You need to hold sometimes because if you like run in, even think you can get a kill, you give away your position.
Sorry to interrupt, but Woods is pushing up to that wall. It looked like he was about to jump. Killinger saying, Woods, be careful. What are you doing? Don't go running. And Woods is like, ah, don't worry, I'm just peeking. Okay, so if, again, I'll just pop onto the map while not much is going on. We can see that northern flank has gotten to truck. Hope maybe they'll continue on down this way or a little bit shallower. Killinger and Woods in the center here. They have 1 person, 2 people, 3 people able to shoot them as they cross this road and possibly this objective defense as well. So very tough cross for them. I don't know if they're going to continue with the cross or fall back. Interesting to see.
We had someone move to the roof over on the northern flank there.
Absolutely right. So if we pop on over to the north, we can see... Sorry, that's the south. If we pop on over to the north, we can see that flank is occurring. He's falling back towards truck by the looks of it, yes. And Kenzai is going to be pushing back over to the west. We'll head back over to the objective. Scooby-Doo, laying flat. We're at 3 minutes deep. 3 minutes to go. Scooby-Doo is laying flat. He's not checking objective all that much. He's trying to peek this window. But 3 minutes in, people are getting into positions where they can start to cap. So his attention is going to be split between this road and the objective very soon. If we pop back over this way, looks like a cross is about to occur. No, not quite yet. Lonely Viper holding strong. As soon as they cross, it's going to go down. Viper's, once they get past this car, Viper's going to have a clean shot. And then he's got backup from Weather Balloon. Here we go. 1 down. Not dead. Not dead. Double tap. Nice work by Viper. Grenade out. He's expecting something very close here. Okay, so grenade not doing much there at all. Looks like it was a smoke, perhaps. So you can see how much smoke has been brought across here. And back over at the middle of the map.
Is, flanking now.
Looks like he is flanking as well.
Building.
Absolutely right. So a bit of a stalemate back at the south. 1 more down. Looks like that might have been... Not sure who that was. So Icy Woods' attention is split now. He's now dealing with Kenzai. And Viper is holding off this eastern cross. And it looks like Viper's going to do a very good job. Shots out at that burning building. Neither one able to get a kill. Very tense stuff. Kenzai just probing, prodding, throwing a smoke. Still no kill from Kenzai or Icy Woods. Just that smoke disrupting Icy Woods' field of view, so he had to sort of overextend. And Icy Woods gets a kill, so Icy Woods now has a clear path towards objective. He has 1 other person to deal with on objective if he can run past this this plane wing area up to ambulance. No doubt, Scooby-Doo, yes, now looking this way. He's calling out 2 possible enemies from Scooby-Doo, so it'll be interesting to see if Scooby-Doo can pick up a kill here. Not much going on the cross, no activity, and as you can see, all Volk players are now looking at objective. They're not looking at the cross. We have 1 person creeping over. Fantastic grenade from Kenzai. Fantastic grenade from objective, and because Viper was not looking at objective, or not looking at the cross, Killinger looks like able to get the kill. Weather Balloon coming in on objective. He's going to cover that objective, but it's looking very tough. We have 1, 2, 3 Marsok players coming in on this objective. If they don't get a cap, they're going to get a kill. He's going to go for the revive and takes out both, and beginners have won.
That's the downfall.
Incredible pressure. Incredible pressure. Now, I think we can break that down. We can break that down. The defense started to crumble. If I bring the map up again, sorry, apologies. The defense seemed to crumble once this center burning building went down. Scooby-Doo called it out. He wasn't sure of the numbers. He called out 2. It's always better to say more than less. So he called out 2 from this area. And that caused all the defending players to forget about Marsok crossing here. You saw Viper looking this way. You saw Weather Balloon looking this way. Everybody was looking in this direction. It allowed 1 player to cross, pick off Viper very easily, and then they all swarmed from 3 separate directions and are very hard to defend once you have a swarm like that. So very nice work from beginners, able to put some pressure on the team. Now we have a very, very interesting objective right here. Junkyard objective for boss fight to attack. This can be a very aggressive objective to go for. If you're an aggressive team, you can get into a capping point 30 seconds into the game. So it'll be interesting to see what boss fight decide to do. They were a little bit slower before, so will they decide to do that, or will they go a little bit harder? Tangled, I'll get you to just check the stream as well if we can. If we're live on Twitch, I'll get you to just check that. Make sure we work it.
We are live and it's running all right. The comments seem to say that it's working, so we're good to keep going.
Cool. If you do see any comments, please call out. My eyes are in the game. Dr. Killinger taking up a forward position on this junkyard, peeking through this gap. I haven't seen this position before, but it's fantastic. One free kill from here. Will he get a second? Grenade out. Fantastic grenade. Oh, very lucky. Dr. Killinger should be dead by that. It looks like a hitbox saved his life. Meanwhile, the battle for the rooftop continues. We have 2 more boss fight players down. The rooftop has been secured by Volk. We have 3 people swarming this rooftop, which is a... That was sweet, he says. Very risky move sending that many players to rooftop, but rooftop is so important for this objective because you have sight of the entire objective. Kensai's falling down to give support to the defending teams on the objective. We still have all 5 beginners up. Boss fight are struggling to find their feet on this initial map. As we see, Weather Balloon has fallen down. He's covered by a smoke. Killinger, the sneaky snake, is just laying down. Weather Balloon has no idea. As we look to the map, you'll see down the south another player's flanking. Killinger might have trouble from that player, or he might get another free kill. We'll just have to wait and see as he comes through. Kill for kill there.
Kill.
Weather Balloon not dead. Let's see if he calls anything out. Alright, he calls it out. He calls it out. Let's just, let's go onward and upward as we watch what happens. We have 1 defender on the objective tight. We have 1 more. Kensai at the jet engine. If Peasley is able to be taken out by this Marsok player, they're going to be tempted to go for a cap. And if they do, if they overextend, Kensai is going to be right there to clean it up. So let's see what happens here. They're going to go for the revive. He's going in for the revive. Weather Balloon down, but not out. Lonely Viper in a fantastic position to revive. Volk not utilizing that rooftop to put pressure on Weather Balloon and Viper. Weather Balloon, as quick as he was back, he was killed again. Unfortunate.
But his death's not in vain because Viper knows exactly what to do here.
And Viper kill for kill. Unfortunate. He knew someone was there. He went in for the kill, unable to secure it. 3-0 boss fight. Unable to find their feet early on in this match. Very interesting stuff. It wasn't a super aggressive play by boss fight, but they did spread out. Very unfortunate that they were met with 3 Volk defenders up on this rooftop. Once rooftop was dropped, it was very hard for the rest of the team to continue with their attack because this rooftop has such a commanding position. As you could see, they see so much of the objective area, they would have been able to put a lot of pressure on that defending team. As we move on to our next objective, looks like it's going to be center objective, just by the garage here, green car objective. We'll just raise up, chuck a few cameras down. Interesting spot. This is kind of the last post spot for this objective. You usually see a player in that garage just holding it off, and their job is basically die on that objective. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody does take up this spot. Players are about to drop in now. We'll see where the spawn is for Marsok. Short spawn for Marsok, so they are at the north. Will they be the king of the north? They'll be able to take this rooftop early and put some huge pressure on that western flank if they decide.
Yeah, I'm
Most definitely.
burning building. Yo, I need 3 people in the west. 2 people, I mean, with me.
2 people with Killinger. 3 people heading west. Early shots out already. I think that might have been Viper. Not sure who. Early push. 1 more coming in. It looks like Scooby-Doo coming in for the push as well. Is he going to be able to recover a kill? Unlikely. He's up against 3 other players. He's just held on that roof area. They don't know he's there, but they're being extra careful. Very early push from this Volk player, and also a little bit out of position if you follow along this wall like Scooby-Doo, you're covered for a lot longer, and you usually catch a crossing member unaware. So, Scooby-Doo up against Smoils. Is Scooby-Doo going to be seen by Smoils or vice versa? Interesting to see. And as we split our attention, that West is coming into play very soon as well. 3, 2, 1! And Smoils, very impressive work. They were both scanning. Smoils came out victorious. So that is 5 Marsok to 3 defending Volk. Woods has come up on the shallow west flank. He's got eyes on burning building as he peeks. And it looks like a deeper flank is going to be held off here by Lonely Viper, who is actually quite exposed to a western flank. It's a little bit out of position, so people might not be expecting it. So he might be in a good spot to get a free kill, but he is very open. If there's more than 2 people on that west, he might end up dying. If we head over to the west, south, sorry, we can see, sorry, I'll head east. There we go. If we head over to the east, we can see someone has taken up, by the looks of it, the center eastern double. So they're just going to be applying a little pressure coming in from the east and the south as they move along. Marsok in a fantastic position. If we bring up our teams, we can see Icy Woods down. Lonely Viper is holding down the west. Scooby-Doo down. Operator is in that kill spot. Weather balloon in center burning building just across the road. So a lot of pressure from this Marsok team. They are really putting it to the boss fight right now. You're not seeing a dominant boss fight, which is very, very surprising. Tangled, you've been in and around Onward since the launch of the beta. I think boss fight is one of those teams everybody knows of. What do you make of their performance on this early map, Quarantine? What are you seeing from them right now?
They're definitely struggling to find their feet, but it's this map, Quarantine. It's a hit-miss map sometimes. Team, like you can do really well on it, or you can just get rolled and you just don't know why. I think I think Quarantine's got a little bit of a voodoo on it, and sometimes it comes to bite teams that you think would do better on it, and they just get schooled. It's a tricky map, and I think that's why Quarantine's such a good map, because it's
just to interrupt you there, sorry, Tangled. Kenzai has used that cover fire to push up on Weather Balloon. He's just gone for the cross. Weather Balloon sees him. Kenzai's going to get tagged. Is it going to happen? Yes, easy kill for Weather Balloon. So that evens it up just that little bit. Smells is going in for the crawl. And looks like he's down as well. Peasley picking up that kill. I was going to say this play over here, if he had have peeked, Woods might have been able to put pressure on that center burning building, but unfortunately he didn't. Viper, no doubt, just checked his tablet. He heard the fire. He's realized, oh dang, there are only 2 defending players. Operator moving out of that last watch post. Peasley moving up to center burning building. He has overwatch of the objective now. A lot of pressure for these teams. Operator taking fire. No shots out. No shots connecting with Operator. He's going to fall back to this area. But no doubts Peasley will have a beat on Operator from there as well as Smoils. Smoils can see through too. He's just peeking every now and then. Peasley picks up the kill. Viper moving in an objective. He is now on suicide watch. If he thinks anybody's coming in on that objective, he's going to be thinking, do I try and kill? Or do I try and end it now? Shoot myself and just concede the point. Unfortunately for him, beginners are on 3 points. It's not going to save the map. He has to try and kill all these players. I don't think Peasley knows where Viper is right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Let's just jump into Viper's point of view for the rest of this match. Viper circling around on objective. We can see the outline of one Marsok player coming on a Viper. He's moved off objective. He's opened up objective to a push. Viper going for a shoot. Unable to get. We'll just exit out as Dr. Killinger goes in for the cap. Lonely Viper not watching the objective. Killinger is going for that cap. He's typing in the points, and there we have it. Viper just under 2, and Killinger, just to add insult to injury, picks up that last kill. Wowee, what fantastic pressure from beginners. If you were in that situation, Tangled, could you imagine handling that any better? Fantastic work from beginners.
Absolutely not.
And I'm not going to say bad work from Boss Fight. They did a lot of things right. It's just that pressure from beginners was absolutely stupendous.
Yeah, they just put the right pressure on at the right time and just like snuck in at the right angle. Just had the timing, it seemed, tonight to get this win over Boss Fight.
Now these two. Now we have moved to Bazaar. It looks like, and that is an escort map. So obviously the wrong map. I'll just move over to the new map, and we'll continue the cast. Tangled, if you want to just describe that last little bit. I guess that western flank wasn't really pushing in until the last moment, and I guess younger teams would be tempted to push that western flank. They held off for the right moment, and it turned out to be the best thing to do.
Yeah, definitely. That just shows you the how long they've been a team playing on this map, and they just knew what to do when they had to do it, and they just like split in there. And that last gunfight, I had money on Viper to pick at least one or two of them off, but I think they just had his number this time, and he couldn't slow him down a bit and just run the timeout or get shot. So they ended up getting the point. But it was an amazing gunfight. I can't wait to watch the replay for that one. They never, yeah. It's a Wait, I'm sorry.
Alright, I am back. It looks like it's going to be a bizarre match for the next map. As we head over to the score, let me just put this score in really quickly. So, Boss Fight remain at 0. Beginners pick up 5 points. Very impressive stuff for the first map, which was... I'm not going to spell Quarantine. It's too hard. I'm going to press Q1. Much easier. Q, capital? Yeah, there we go. Q1, fantastic. So 0 to 5 for beginners. Very impressive stuff. And I'll just talk to the team over here. One moment. Guys, I'm... Oh, sorry. Got to turn the team chat up. Guys, Muffin's in and good to go whenever you are.
Awesome, cheers,
Yeah,
dude.
we're waiting for people to come back.
Does someone want
No
to join the
worries.
team?
No worries. I'll turn down the team chat in the lobby here. I'm going to be floating around. So start whenever you want. Good luck. Best of luck. Alrighty. Bizarre. It was a high energy first map. Quarantine. I wish my rounds would be that exciting. Really good stuff. And again, Boss Fight. If you were new to this game, you would think, oh, these guys must be new to the game. Then they're just being demolished. But no. They are an experienced team, and they were doing everything right. It was just some superior tactics and a little bit of superior shots coming out when they needed to come out, which proved to be the difference. 0-5 on a first map, very impressive. Now, next objective is going to be this bizarre objective by the looks of it. Tangled, what are the approaches you might take on a map like this? Oh, Tangled, are you still there? Looks like we've lost Tangled, but that's okay. Ignore him. I'm just setting up a few cameras so we can get around this map a little bit faster. I might put this one just here like that, over on the east here. And we'll head over to the west. So this bizarre objective is a very tough one to defend because you have 2 separate rooms that can be used to attack from. You can cap from either room, north, south, east. That'll be west. There we go. As we move back over to the bazaar, you have these 2 separate rooms that you can cap from. You have this room here, and then this room here, and both can be capped from. So you need 2 players covering off this area. I'll just pop a camera a little further back. Something like... Yes, something like that. And I'll chuck a couple of cameras in here like this as well, because like I said, both rooms can be used to cap from. Defensively, this room has the best options. You can be standing here near objective, but you can come back a little bit and be hiding in this little area. You can peek this way if you hear steps, or you can jump over if you hear an attack coming in. This other room, a little bit harder to defend from. There's a lot of open space for you to deal with, which makes it very hard. And as you can see, all of this wood can be shot through. So you can be attacked from anywhere at any point and not know it. And if that wasn't worse enough... Gotcha. And if that wasn't worse enough, over here, there is a courtyard that you can enter in as well and do some real damage as well. So really, really difficult to attack this objective, but even harder to defend it because there are so many ways to get in and attack it. So I'm going to move back. We'll just float up here. We'll see what the hold up is. I'll just check the lobby. Looks like everybody's in. I'm just going to turn up my mic. Going to turn up my mic so I can be a little bit quieter. Talk a little bit quieter. It is actually, what is it, 2 a.m. in the morning where I am, so I better be a little bit quieter for the neighbours. I hope that's a little bit better. Tangled, can you hear me there?
Hello?
Hello, you're hearing me?
I'm good.
Yeah, excellent. Fantastic. All right. Cool. So, yeah, bizarre objective. I'll just have a look. It looks like beginners are going to be the Marsoc team, Team 1. Let's just bring them up. Oh, caps lock would be a fantastic thing to get rid of. And Team 2 is going to be boss fight. Happy days. All right, let's just drop these teams out of the way as we begin. So we have a typical vault spawn on the objective, and we have the southeast spawn for Marsoc. Are they going to split up on this one? We have Smoils and sorry, who is that? Sorry, Peasley and Woods and Kenzai splitting off, and Killinger and Smoils crossing early. They're able to cross very early. Very impressive. Smoils taking up a higher position, crouching down. He's going to be checking this center road, seeing what's going on, seeing a lot of pressure on this east side. They're going to be going straight to that northern path. If we head over this way, looks like I didn't drop a camera at the north. Sorry, so I'll just rock back over. It looks like they're going to be going for that northern path. We have one Volk player holding off that northern road. So we see one player in the northeast. He's about to get eyes down that path. Who is it that's defending? It is Lonely Viper, laying down very low. You can see where he's looking. Straight at that path there. Unfortunately for Marsoc, they're not going to get an eye on him probably till it's too late. That's a very, very tough spot to spot. So very impressive stuff. And the rest of the defending teams are all right on that objective in Bazaar. Operator downstairs, I see Woods upstairs, Scooby-Doo upstairs. Probably those players are going to drop down at some point once pressure starts to mount. Lonely Viper and the gang are going to be desperate to recover some pride on this map. They were decimated on quarantine, and they know they have the skills. They know they have the aim, the communication, the coordination. Are they going to be able to put it together and hold off this beginners team? Woods just scoping that window. Kenzai scoping as well. As we head over to the center road, not much movement here from Killinger and Smoils. We saw this last time on quarantine. They weren't pushing all that much. They were just taking their time. And then lastly, our last player is just over here. Where are they? There they are. Peasley taking his time as well. Looks like is he going to be falling back or falling forward? Interesting to see. Not quite sure yet. Now, just as a defensive point of view, if we head back over this way, we can see one Vault player just heading off this eastern road. He's obviously making sure the flank does not occur. He'll be able to hear footsteps if someone travels down this alleyway, but more importantly, he'll be able to see anybody crossing, as you can see from his sort of perspective. I get into position here, he can see people crossing 2 roads at once, or 3 roads at once really, which is a fantastic spot for him. If he can't get a kill, he can at least get comms out. Tangled, the flank on Bazaar, it can be a killer when you're defending, can't it?
It can. It can usually end in a kill for kill when you're that last guy on that west that trying to stop a flank. you seem to get a little jump. You get a shot off, but it seems to kill you first.
Alright, Smiles dropping a smoke. Will it be a smoke to push or a smoke to distract? That'll be the thing. I'm going to guess that this northern road over here is going to be starting to get a little bit more active. But we see one player sort of moving into position. Not quite crossing yet. And we also see one player falling back. Maybe they will be going for that cross. As I said, this player's hearing the smoke now, looking in the wrong direction. But he will eventually get his eyes back on here, and as you can see, he can see this whole area here. So if a cross does occur, it's going to have to happen sort of this way, and he'll be able to hear that. So interesting to see if the flank happens. You can see him going south, heading east, heading east, heading east. And as we head back over to the north, shots out, shots down. Viper able to pick off a kill. They were pushing that north. They wanted to know was there, and now they know. There's Viper, able to pick off one easy kill. He got it for free. It's now 4v5. Beginners, one man down as they continue their assault. As we head back over, have I got the right map up? I certainly do.
We've got one down. We've got one down. All the way over in the northeast corner there.
Yes. Oh, is that a second one down? No, it's the same one. Killinger is going in for the flank, and he is going to go that shorter flank. So the right thing to do, he doesn't know it, but absolutely right thing to do, because it's the safer push. As we see that Volk player has gone a little bit tighter on objective. Viper has been pushed down, so it looks like Viper thought maybe it's just one person pushing the north and everyone's going to be coming the other way. Not the case. Viper's pushed out of that position. Where is he? He's there. He's pushed out and it's got him stuck. Had he have just stayed here, he's invisible. He can't be seen. These guys can't see him, but unfortunately, not to be. Beginners continuing to put a little bit of pressure on as this eastern flank starts to come into effect. Weather balloon, he can probably hear something, but can he see something? That's the real question. Let's just go this way. Alright, Weather Balloon knows what's up now. Is he going to go up the stairs, drop down, or is he just going to cover off Killinger? Not sure what's going to happen there, as we have 45 seconds to go. Not much left for Beginners to continue this attack. Killinger moving in from the east. We have two more coming in from behind. Killinger's pushing out. Weather Balloon has gone up the stairs, dropped down. Is he going to go for the kill? Killinger able to get Weather Balloon. Very impressive work, but Weather Balloon is not dead. Double tap from Killinger, so nice. Eastern flank of the bazaar is down. Peasley's pushing the... Sorry, western flank is down. Peasley pushing the east. And Kenzai creeping up. He's going to go for the cap. He's going to be the capper. But is he going to be able to do it in time? 15 seconds. Looks like they're not looking at their stopwatch. They're going to have to go for all kills. That's one kill down. Scooby-Doo left. I see it's still up. Scooby-Doo is still up. Scooby-Doo up. Kenzai going for the push. One person down. Kenzai still trying. 4, 3, 2, 1... Boss fight 1. Beginners ran out of time. Very disappointing. Kenzai was going for that code, but he wasn't able to get it down in time, and unfortunately that means boss fight 1. If they had two things, they could have won. If they had 10 more seconds, or just a little bit more of a peek on that last guy, they would have won, but unfortunately they had neither, and it resulted in a loss. Fantastic little pincer. Fantastic push. Tangles, what did you get out of that one?
Oh, I got an elevated heart rate at the end there. That was awesome. At first I thought, oh, they're getting cold feet. They don't know how to get in there. But they picked a few people off on the wings, and then they just pinched it in, and they just like put pressure on there. And they had more than one person trying to cap. It was pretty good stuff. But yeah, they just left their little run just a little late, and they got beaten by time, unfortunately. But yeah, that was some good stuff. I
honestly thought, I think it was Kenzo going in for the cap. I thought he was going to get it, especially when he put his tablet down. Our timers might be slightly out of sync, so maybe he put his tablet down because the send uplink option disappeared for him. But very surprising he wasn't able to cap. I completely understand, because I think anybody that's played Onward, that first time you cap in a comp game, you realise it's, wait a minute, this is a lot harder than it used to be. I used to be able to cap very easily, but all of a sudden we're playing for a comp, and it's almost impossible. So I'm going to chuck a few cameras down around this objective. I'm going to go this hallway first of all, because people do like to travel down this hallway. Oh, it helps if I do drop the camera. So I'll drop that camera just there. people do like to travel down this hallway and then come in, clear out this area. So very tempting little way to get to the objective, but it usually is met with the blue room. The blue room can cover off that area fairly well, or you could use this sandbag to pick, or you could use this corner, also out of position spot that you might not expect. So many spots can cover off this corridor, but still players still try and pressure it a little bit every time, because sometimes it does pay off. Tangled, when you're attacking this objective, do you have a preferred sort of angle you like to get on it, or do you take whatever you can get?
No, when attacking, I like to come from the north. That'd be my preferred.
So you use this alleyway, drop a couple of smokes, and
yeah,
because
it evens out the fight. You know, like you're not there trying to have a big fight on an open map with pick you off early.
Right. Every confrontation is one-on-one, basically.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I like the northern push to try and cap that objective.
Absolutely. I'll just go to the map as we watch what Marsok's going to be doing. They've got an eastern spawn by the looks of it. I'll just get you to check my audio too, Tangled. Are you happy with the levels I'm putting out right now? As we have Marsok splitting off 3-2, 3 going to Mini Bazaar and then the other 2 taking this southern road. So they might be going for a flank. Quite often you see what exactly is happening. Someone takes up either this position or this position, and it's very good at stopping people crossing this area. So maybe these 2 might go for a more shallow cross, and then the other 2 going for the northern road up this way. You can see this player here is covering this road, but they're not doing their job. They haven't spotted 2 players crossing. We'll see if we get more players crossing and see if we get any interaction there as we head over to the north. These players have crossed. Let's just jump over to this area and see what he can see. He's okay, we can see it's Peasley, and he's just not peeking 100% all the time, which is a safe thing to do. You can also see he's doing something that new players don't do very often, and that's keeping his distance from the windows. I think you've mentioned that to me with my gameplay when I first started, and probably I still do it now. I like to get right up in those windows, and it's the wrong thing to do, isn't it, Tangled?
It's 100% the wrong thing to do. You should just paint a big red target on your nose that you silhouette perfectly, and you just get seen from across the map, and you go to sleep.
Probably going through the middle or south.
Right, so it looks like Peasley has seen them crossing, but wasn't happy taking the fire. That's something you don't see very often from inexperienced players. They see someone, they shoot. If we head over to Woods, it looks like a shot was taken off. Grenade out. Another unfortunate grenade for beginners. It wasn't able to take off Woods. We saw that on Quarantine. The grenades made out of water balloons today. That's the second grenade that's missed very close to Woods, but unfortunately he's still up. One of those players has been tagged. Looks like it was IC Woods tagged by Woods 43, so he's been hit. Unfortunately for Woods 43, they know where he is. He's not choosing to fall back. He hasn't called anything out just yet, but we might have missed it before we got there. That northern road. Shots out towards Woods. Is he going to throw a grenade? Yes, grenade out. No, flash. So, a flash sometimes on a map like this, you would think... You'd think on a map like this, a flash would be no good. But as you saw there, Woods threw a flash, which you got to remember is worth only 1 point. And both those players saw the flash, thought it was a grenade, and fell back. It gave him a little bit of breathing room to try and put some bullets towards those 2 players. So, clever use of a flash. You wouldn't normally see that from a team in a map like this. You'd think they'd go maybe a grenade and a smoke, or maybe use a flash for a closer scenario, because that stun, flash really has no chance of stunning them whatsoever. But it was able to fool them into thinking it was a grenade. Tangled, what do you think of that little throw there?
It's a perfect strategy. It's like high-level stuff. Knowing that you can bluff people off throwing a flashbang, it's actually was pretty good. Because I noticed he did fall back as well as he got something. So it's actually a very good tactic.
Woods 43 has conceded this road. He's basically said, alright, you guys win, you can cross, but I'm going to wait here. And when you come around the corner, I'm going to be in a real weird spot at a real weird time, and you're not going to expect me. So we're going to see IC Woods coming in for the push. He's going to assume his grenade may have been good. Woods 43 can hear IC Woods. He's not going to see him as we come around. Will Woods 43 be able to take off IC Woods? You can hear his footsteps. You can hear him creaking. Is he going to wait? He's going to wait. Shots out, and Woods 43 does exactly what he planned. Very masterful play there by Woods 43. Basically saying, you want to cross? You cross. Now, Woods 43 called out, I got him. Does that mean he only thinks there's one person here? If so, that gives a little bit of wiggle room for Viper. And as you can see, Woods is actually falling back towards looking at the objective. A common spot for people to look when covering both roads is this position. He mustn't think Viper is there, and as we can see, Viper's pushing up to that tank. He's going to utilise the tank as cover, come around the tank and maybe pick off IC Woods. As we head over back over to the north, we see they've both crossed the roads. We have one player approaching that tunnel. Peasley, unable to see him at this point. He's pulled out his tablet. He's checking his code.
Pulling in on objective. We have people down on objective.
He's going to slowly move in. So 1, 2 Marsoc players looks like they fell on objective. Peasley's falling back. He's getting his code right. Peasley taking fire. He's throwing a smoke grenade, giving away his position. Killinger's pulling in. Killinger down from a... one player down from a grenade. Beginners able to hold off that attack. Boss fight was eliminated, so nice work from Beginners. Recovering a point after losing the initial Marsoc attack. They're able to hold their Volk point, very impressive. That grenade and smoke wombo combo was very interesting. He threw a smoke. When you hear a smoke as a Volk player, you push that smoke because you think, I know exactly where that player is, and that's what we saw happen. Unfortunately for that Volk player, a grenade followed suit, so he pushed the smoke and got connected by the grenade. Another high skill level move from this team. Their utility use is really impressive, Tangled.
It is, and that's like the perfect combo, because exactly what you said, like I even just run at smoke on objective when it goes off, and he would have blown me up then, and I would have been like, what just happened? So that was a very good combination to bring to this fight.
Yeah, absolutely, really impressive stuff. As we come back in, it's going to be a repeat of the previous objective, but this time it's going to be the Shore spawn. Interesting to see if Beginners, I believe, who are the attacking team. Yes, Beginners decide to push early or push late. Sometimes it's good having this short spawn and not pushing because you have the western flank and they don't know it. We see one early cross from Woods. He's taking up green bin. He's going to be trying to just see what he can see. Not always the best position to take. If no one takes up that ramp, then your position is basically null and void for the majority of the match. And we also have Smoils, the sneaky snake, also covering off the same area. So two players covering off the same area, covering each other. Smoils, no doubt, will use information he gets from the other player to push forward. Kenzai and Killinger taking up these two doubles in the bazaar. So if any defense try and push this bazaar like Scooby-Doo is thinking about doing, an operator is doing, no doubt they will either spot them or kill them. As for our last member, he's over in the north, taking up this northern path. Can we see? Nobody is defending this northern road. The only person we have is Lonely Viper, and he really is lonely right now. He's taken up the tunnel, but he's not keeping his eyes on the north, so nobody covering off this northern flank. I like to use this northern flank. I usually cross and then go path. As we watch, he's going northern road. Tangled, what do you think about leaving this northern area open?
It's a risky move. They've seemed to put more attention to the
grenade out on objective. I'll just interrupt you there. Sorry, one grenade was sent towards Scooby-Doo's way. No doubt it came from Dr. Killinger. Not sure if it was through the window or otherwise, but it's going to be a heal for them, easy heal. Scooby-Doo and operator working together, communicating, getting the heal. And what a message. Beginners are sending to boss fight. Hey, you don't know where I am, but I know where you are, and here's a grenade for your trouble.
Yeah, well-placed grenade. That was actually that was quite amazing. He threw it through the window, I'm pretty sure, and down the stairs by the look of it.
Yeah, just looking at that map, as we head over to the east. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. IC Woods taking up the position Woods 43 had before, and Weather Balloon taking up this blue room. Woods 43 gone up the ramp. This is a Volk position traditionally. It's somewhere you see Volk heading up to put some pressure on Marsoc as they take the centre road towards Bazaar, but Woods is going, no, I'd like this high position. He's let himself known a little bit. He's let a few shots out, But as you can see, if we pop over, just over his shoulder here, exactly where Woods was, Woods 43 would have been able to see him. So Woods 43 knows the defense and he knows the countermeasure. Interesting stuff by Woods 43 moving to this spot. And basically, gosh, if I see Woods over here had have known that the countermeasure for that defense, maybe he would have taken it up and last round would have gone a different way. We can see Viper has dropped off here. Looks like they were shots coming from the north, Peasley, and Peasley, he's not having any trouble taking up this northern path because there's no one there to stop him. I see Woods is flanking down. He's going to come around to this window by the looks of it. He's going to peek. Not sure what he'll see just yet, but he will get an eye on Peasley eventually as he comes in. Okay, I think we're hearing Peasley. I see Woods' audio there. Looks like he has a little kid in the background somewhere there, so even more impressive that he's able to be a dedicated Marine and also deal with the Marsoc attack. So we have 2 people down for Volk and 1 person down for Marsoc. Operator just holding tight on this little courtyard area. He's holding down that room, sorry. Weather balloon holding off the blue room and the hallway. And not quite sure where our attacks are going to come from. It looks like Woods 43 was taken out by weather balloon. Not sure why he tried to cross that area, but he ended up paying for it. You always have to expect someone in this blue room, but maybe not in the hallway. So maybe he thought he could cross for free and put some pressure on Icy Woods, but it just didn't turn out that way. We've got 133 left. Dr. Killinger hasn't moved from this room. Peasley still pushing that north. Kenzai hasn't moved from his room either. Smoke's out from Killinger. Same smoke as the grenade we saw before. You can see, where has it landed? Not sure where it's landed, sorry, but that was Killinger's smoke. Sorry, yep, Smoils is utilising the smoke, so maybe it was his smoke in fact. So Smoils is going to come through this little corridor here. And he's going to come into trouble with Blue Room if he does, and also Operator is up on those stairs, who's just trying to deal with Killinger. He knows he's there, but he don't know what he's doing. Small's going in, he's pushing in, he's now looking at Blue Room.
On northeast corner there's going to be a fight. Oh, right.
Smoil's going in on Operator. He's going in for the push. He's going to be able to get it. Operator can no doubt hear the tablet. He's hearing the tablet. He's going in for the code. He's laying down Smoils. Operator not hearing him. Operator in a position where he could see Smoils if he knew he was there. He's peeking the corner. Is he going to be able to see? No!
Oh.
Beginner's getting a very, very, very cheeky cap there. Very impressive stuff.
That was very cheeky. That was
Were
very
you
good.
aware of just how tight into that area you could cap from, Tangled? I'm not sure I've seen many caps from just here before, have you?
No. Usually people just come just out a bit and then they get shot, but these people know their maps and it's not their first day on the job. And I think that smoke also helped him cover his noise, so it was hard for the enemy to actually pick him up and know what he was actually...
He did peek this corner every now and then, but he didn't peek quite enough, so it resulted in a cap there for the beginner. So 3-1 boss fight, trailing by 2. They're going to be desperate to try and recoup some points, and if beginners can hold off this Volk round, which they've been able to do a number of times this match already, it is all over. They will be moving onwards and upwards, and boss fight will be returning to the dressing room thinking about what went wrong. So I'll just chuck a couple of cameras around. This room is an area you can cap from, and I'll also chuck one just backwards this way as well. Why not? Let's go crazy.
Who's the home team for this game? Because I think whoever's home team when these two guys actually had like wins historic.
Yeah, that's an interesting point you make. So Season 3, I believe. Yeah, Season 3. Beginners and boss fight came into contact with each other 3 times. Beginners were home team twice. They won twice. Boss fight were home team once. They won once. So whoever gets home team advantage, I might have misspoken there, but whoever gets home team advantage basically goes on to win the game. So really, really interesting stuff. I believe the home team for this match, if I bring up the information, is Boss Fight.
Is it Boss Fight?
So it looks like they're going to break the trend of last year or last season. If beginners can continue their impressive defense and impressive attack, Boss Fight may concede this map and, in the end, the match. Now, as we look at Boss Fight's attack here, we have 3 people taking the Center Bazaar, which is an interesting move. Center Bazaar is a great place to pick off some kills because you can see through areas, but it's a terrible place to push from. Once you're at Center Bazaar, you're basically stuck there, more or less, tangled. How do you find it trying to cross from Center Bazaar to the actual objective?
It's horrifying, and the only way I can do it is if I have a flanker go over down the west or eastern flank, making lots of noise, distracting them, giving me a chance to cross, and if I don't have lots of smoke to sort of try and wing it.
So we see Operator and Weather Balloon moving in on this eastern side. They're going to be creeping all the way west. Quite often when you see other teams do this push, they go through the buildings. If I can bring up my map. They go through the buildings and push this whole wall. You can see there is a player here defending that push. They're going a shallower way, whether or not they go either road, not quite sure. We see one of the players actually falling back through tank. They've decided, wait a minute, this isn't such a good idea after all. They're going to fall backwards, which is... I'm not quite seeing what the move here would be as we hear shots out towards that direction. Operator has been tagged by the looks of it. Yep, Operator has been tagged and he's going to use his own syringe, which is unfortunate, basically conceding he won't be able to get any revives this round. Weather Balloon supplying a little bit of support fire towards the blue room of objective, but really strange decision by the two of them. Oh no, Operator dropping his own grenade. Very surprising move from Operator. So Weather Balloon and Operator, not sure what they were thinking, moving back from this courtyard over to tank, because blue room happened to be looking that way and added a lot of pressure to them. This smoke is doing its job. If Operator and Weather
down in the bazaar.
If Operator and Weather Balloon were smart, they would hightail it out of there, use that smoke while they can and get out of there. But it looks like Operator is going to be a little bit more gutsy. He's going to decide to try and maybe go up to ramp or push through the smoke, which is an incredible decision to make considering blue room is looking straight at them. Are they going to be able to put the supply on? They're using the smoke, they're using the concrete, they're using the car. More smoke's coming in from Bazaar as Scooby-Doo and Lonely go in using smoke, adding more cover fire. They're pushing in. Smoils is down. No, Smoils is laying down. He's able to get an easy kill as that player dealt with another Volk. We do have 3 Marsok putting pressure on this objective, but looks like Smoils is still squatting. Smoils is down. Woods is the last man standing by the looks of it for Volk. And Boss Fight able to pick up a point.
High five.
Very happy noises from Viper there. Very proud of his team, no doubt. It looked like a bit of a slow push at the beginning, but those smokes really did the damage there. It allowed them all to start swarming in. We saw one of those players on Volk just lying down. He picked off, I think, 2 kills very cheaply because I think they might have assumed he was a dead body. So, Sneaky Snake paying off once again. What do you think about those smokes, Tangled? Right time, right place, right push?
It was. That's the thing with smokes. If you don't know how to use them, they get you killed. And in this case, they actually threw them out and pushed through them perfectly. They used the confusion of all the gunfire to sneak up and get on to objective.
Yes,
so, yeah, smokes are good, but you just got to practice.
Very impressive stuff, and it'll be interesting to know. I didn't have team chat on at the time, but it'll be interesting to know if perhaps those 2 players by tank deliberately moved back to tank because they knew that smoke push was happening, because it did seem to be a practice push by those all of those players moving into Bazaar and then 2 to the east. It didn't look like something they just thought up on the fly. I could be wrong, but it looked very rehearsed and very deliberate.
Even if it was made up on the fly, I think these teams have played together so much that they know how everyone moves. And they would have seen one person initiating a move like that, and they would have just fallen into line and just flowed with them.
Absolutely. Mini Bazaar objective up next. It's another one where there's a lot of different ways to get to it. A lot of people like to come from this eastern area, western area, coming along the road, pushing this Mini Bazaar. You do normally find a lot of people hiding in this wood, picking off easy shots because it's easy to peek through, hard to see who's hiding there. And of course wood you can shoot through in this map. Another path people like to apply pressure from is from this western courtyard. You can see the objective and defending players, so it's a good area to just send some bullets that way. My preferred mode of attack is using this northern path, coming along, and either using either path, the far eastern or far western. Let's just jump into the chat here.
North.
We'll go Volk.
Where you want me? Where do you feel good about?
I'm gonna be in the center of this street.
Okay, Weatherboom, can you take Kevo's spot in the blue room looking towards Mini Market?
You mean the other side?
I'm gonna hang around across the street, Weather, across the street.
Okay.
I'll be watching North Road.
Alright, this is...
I will be next building down, Weather, so 3 clicks is over here.
This is Boss Fight's only chance to defend this map. If they drop this point, they drop the entire match. They've already lost quarantine. Bazaar is counting on this, so I'll chuck team chat down for now. We might return to it a little bit later as we get a little bit more information out of the other Marsoc team. And let's just bring up the map and talk about what's going on here. We see a 3-1-1 split at the moment. 3 people heading up this road. Looks like one might peek here early and then give the call for them all to flank. One's going to cross in shallow, so he's going to have a few options as well. And this guy here, not sure what he's doing. It looks like he's decided to join the team a little bit late, but hey, why not? And then we're just going to have one guy looking at, looks like he's up on the scaffolding, just making sure nobody crosses. As far as defense goes, we talked about this position before here, but it works here as well. This guy can see basically all of this area. So if anybody does start trying to cross, he's going to be able to either call it out or make a shot, get a kill, defend. Peasley moving into the blue room opposite the Bazaar at the moment, as the rest of his team start moving in to start applying pressure towards that Mini Bazaar. You can see them all slowly getting into spots. Woods 43 taking up this little single story here. He can peek this window, but also these woods you can see through and shoot through, so a good position. Not a lot of visibility, is still pretty good. Woods moving back to the far southern area, tunnel. You can peek these windows as well. Doesn't look like he's going to choose that. He's going to expose his whole body, which is actually a bit of a more risky move. But hey, they've proven themselves to be very knowledgeable in the game, so obviously he knows what he's doing. Heading back over to the objective now, we can see defensively we have Operator near the objective. But that is about it. I'm not seeing anybody else within earshot of objective. So let's just say hypothetically someone got to this room here, got to this courtyard, or got to this room. They'd be able to pull out their tablet and pop in a code, which is the last thing I think beginners want, because that is a cap for boss fight. Sorry, for beginners, as I get the teams confused. Tangled, what do you think about this defense? They are covering off all their roads, but the objective is fairly open.
Yeah, I actually like their positions. They're more onto positions early to see if they can catch people crossing, see if they can pick them off before they get in that strike zone. They're sort of pushing to where they can sort of run into them early and stop them before they get there. I feel we'll find that they probably will drop back a little closer to objective as time goes on, or if they get more into it.
Yeah, absolutely. As we move into that, Peasley just giving some advice out there. Yeah, so you're saying as we cross that 3-minute mark, we're going to start to see Volk players moving tighter in on objective and sort of tightening up and covering off those small nooks and crannies. But like I said, they are covering a lot of different areas. As we see one Marsoc player moving to the northern road, IC Woods has a bead on that direction. Will he see what's going on and supply some ammunition for that Marsoc player? Looks like he's going to decide to fall back a little bit, moving back in towards Mini Bazaar. You can see he's tossing up. Will I go this way? Will I go this way? Not sure. He's covered off here, but we also have these 2 Marsoc players to cover him off. They'll no doubt hear him. It's going to be hard for him to take 2 on 1. And then we have a big clump of Marsoc players here. They're getting ready for a push I've got a feeling something big is about to happen as that Marsok player decides to go back towards the bazaar. And then it looks like he's going to head north again. Is he going to cross that road? It's very interesting. He's gone up. Killinger has gone up. He's just trying to check all of the paths, all of the bins, make sure this north is clear. Unfortunately for him, there is someone there that he hasn't spotted, but he's going to decide to push through to this western courtyard. So as we go up these stairs, we have two players within earshot, but not within eyesight. So interesting to see what happens there as Weather Balloon and Scooby-Doo no doubt hear that smoke coming out. These four Marsok players, one crossing already, supplying pressure. One smoke coming out from the white car towards this area, so Smoils is completely covered. Normally you see as a counter defense this blue hallway being used by Volk, but not the case right now as a second smoke comes out from Smoils, absolutely clogging up that mini bazaar. He can't see anything, no doubt. Operator is a little scared right now. He cannot see a single thing from this path as more smoke scatter the roads, absolutely littering it. Looks like there's a festival going off in the streets as Woods 43 and the other players push. Weather Balloon under pressure here, and little does he know there's so many people coming in on his position. Weather Balloons and Scooby-Doo now moving into positions to start attacking. Woods 43 coming up on... Unfortunately taken out by Weather Balloon and Scooby-Doo, rotating. Very impressive work by Volk as Peasley is taken down as Scooby-Doo and Weather Balloon. Very impressive work, but Kenzai is capping. Will they spot? Will they spot? Yes, they will. Scooby-Doo able to defend the cap. And as we saw, all of that smoke causing a lot of chaos, allowing someone to get into a striking position on a cap. 3-3. All of a sudden, beginners and boss fight is looking like a much, much tighter battle. Really impressive attack there.
It was pretty good. It actually turned into a trap. Boss fight set a trap for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to shout out to, I think it was Weather Balloons and who was the other player over here? They both were in these rooms, backs turned to the enemy. One was able to get an early kill through this window. But what you saw happening was both players rotate out of their rooms, one into separate hallways and areas, and it completely confused the enemy team, and they were able to take, I think, 3 or 4 people out in a very quick fashion. So very impressive stuff by those two players. Big shout out to them for their impressive defense. And then luckily enough, they knew, hey, we were under pressure, we better get back on that objective. I'd rather die, I'd rather lose by dying than being capped. It's too embarrassing. And they got back on objective and got that last Marsok player securing the round. So really interesting match, and we saw it, I think, on their first Marsok round, beginners. They didn't push right to the last moment, didn't they? I think we had a minute remaining while they were doing that push.
Yeah, leaving it to the last minute to add extra pressure.
So it'll be interesting to see. We're going to have a repeat of the last objective. I feel like Boss Fight just learnt a little bit about how to defend and how to attack this objective. Are they going to take those lessons into this round, or are they going to bring their own special spicy sauce into this match? No doubt they have a few strats of their own, so it'll be interesting to see. The use of smokes, absolutely fantastic. You can't hear much when a smoke is right next to your ear, so really nice use. Let's jump over to the Volk players.
Yeah, but I think he knows.
I can't watch the north wall. I can't do this position, so north wall's in the open.
Why don't you do it? Okay.
I can't do this position.
Okay, a little bit of talk there. It looks like the plan is Woods is taking off the north, and as you can see, he's going for it. Absolutely helter-skelter as we look at Marsok going 3-2. 3 of them going off onto the northeast. They're going to be pushing this northern road by the looks of it. They're all clumping up at this hallway here. Are they going to be crossing? And what's Woods going to do when he sees them? Woods coming all the way down this northern path. Very, very aggressive defense by Woods. Is he expecting a flank on this northeast or what? Meanwhile, these Marsok players, looks like they're going to be ships in the night. They're moving through the courtyard here. They haven't gone onto the northern road. Very wise, not showing themselves on the northern road. So they're going to try and push up as much as possible before they give away any information. If they do continue this northern road, Kenzai will be able to pick off a few through these wooden crates. So interesting to see what happens there as we head west, I believe. Is it west? Yes, there we go. As As we jump over west, we see the other two players taking that position I mentioned before, just peeking that window, finding out what intelligence they have on the bazaar. But unfortunately for them, as we can see from the map, nobody is actually on bazaar. Similar to what happened yesterday, we only have one player within earshot of the bazaar, mini bazaar objective.
Save your frag for when I'm going for the objective. You should use that to deafen their objective building.
Okay, a little bit of strat there from Viper talking about how to use their utilities.
No, just anywhere touching the objective building so if we get past mini market.
Apologies, Scooby-Doo talking there.
They're ready. They're ready. All right, go ahead.
Alright, looks like they just had a call out for a push. I'm going to chuck on their chat.
No, hold on for a minute.
Looks like Marsok does have a coordinated attack, as Marsok lose one player in that western corridor area. Smoyles laying down on objective as we see these guys moving in, throwing smokes and grenades.
You just kill us? Oh,
One of them dropping a smoke on their own position, which is very unfortunate.
Woods is pushing hard now down that flank.
Smoyles taking out one player. Looks like Smoyles putting pressure on the next. Very impressive work by Smoyles there to be putting that pressure on, as Marsok have lost 3 players now. Lost Scooby, there we go. So I don't think Viper knows just how bad it is. Say that again, sorry, Tangle?
Woods has made it to the western
you're absolutely
flank.
right. So Woods has made it to that western flank, and he's going to push down this corridor. I didn't have comms up, but I'd say someone might have called out his position, and he's going to be chasing Viper, but Viper is too quick. He's able to get out of that way. So Woods just did an entire 360 scoop around the entire map and caught up with Viper, but Viper escaping by the skin of his teeth. And now we have everybody clumped up together. It's not looking good for Marsok. This is not a coordinated attack. 45 seconds ago, it was. But they lost 2 players very quick, and now their attack has way less impact. Lone V Viper's back is turned to Woods 43. Is Woods going to be able to pick off this shot? Let's have a look. Woods combing the area. He knows someone's there, but he doesn't know where exactly. He comes down this corridor. He's pushing. He's peeking. Is he going to be able to see? He's trying as best he can. It looks like he's looking in the right direction, just off slightly. Shots out from Viper, which is going to give Woods everything he needs to know, and Woods takes off that shot from Lonely Viper. So that flank coming into effect, and now it's just one person left, Operator, all by himself. He's coming into where Woods can see perfectly, so if he falls... Alright, he's not moving into a very aggressive position. Looks like he's going to try and defend himself from what he thinks is a flank. Little does he know, Woods is happy to just hold his position. Shots out towards, not quite where, could just be blind shots to scare the enemy, and it looks like Operator is the last man standing. And we're just going to have a look at Operator's point of view for a little while, looking back towards objective. We can see, I think that was Smoyles from memory, not quite sure. Here we go, one player looking towards Operator's point of view, and there it goes. Operator drops. Beginners drop out. There we go. Beginners win, sorry. Boss fight was eliminated. That's 4-3 for boss fight. For beginners, sorry. As we go over to the score, let's add that one in. Bazaar. B-A-Z-Z-A, yeah? Is it something like that? A-R?
Let's go with that.
I think there's 2 A's. There's a lot of weird things going on with Bazaar. maybe it's one A or one Z. I'm not sure what's what, but it's something like that. So we had 4-3, I believe that was. Boss fight able to oh, did boss fight? No, boss fight just lost. So they were 3.
Yep.
And looks like.
And I think beginners just handed boss fight their first loss for this season.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. If we head over to both teams' profiles on the VR Master League, we can see here boss fight. Very impressive team. Some names here that are incredibly scary to play against. And as we drop down, you can see 3 wins, one at home. 2 away. That's now going to say 3 wins, 1 loss. Very, very unfortunate for them as we move over to the beginners profile. This is going to be saying 4 wins for them. Very, very impressive stuff. Looks like we're going to be in Suburbia. I'll just reach out to the players. Hey guys, Muffin here. All good to go. Great match so far. Have fun.
Nice, mate.
Thanks, Muffman.
Alright, so we're going to be heading over to the Bazaar objective by the looks of it. So let's just set our cameras up. We'll go with the objective first. I don't know why Tangled, but
bring the map back. I'm still looking at stats.
I don't know why Tangled, but I find this tends to be the last map of a game quite often. I'm not quite sure what it is, but people like to end a tournament on or a matchup on Suburbia. Why do you think that is?
It's just it's a nice, fast run and gun situation you find yourself in, and you can quickly turn the tide and pick up some points if you're the team
Volk,
that didn't
Volk,
quite
3
win.
people taking up that center burning building, while all 5 Marsoc players take up this east. Very interesting.
I don't
move.
think you're still on the stats page.
Oh,
You need to go to the
apologies.
map.
Sorry
Yeah.
about that. Thank you for the call out. We'll bring that back up. There we go.
There we go. That's much better.
So I'll just drop a camera right here, north, south, east and west. There we go. So it is this garage objective, and all 5 players have decided to go on this eastern flank, which is really interesting. You don't see this quite often. Scooby-Doo out in the open with a shield up. He's facing the shield towards the hedges instead of this corner, the most likely place for someone to peek, but now he pivots the shield towards this side as he checks his tablet. The shield not doing a lot of work there, surprisingly. He's a little loose with the shield, but that's okay. No one was there, so no harm, no foul. Smalls is looking to stop anybody coming through either side of this lawn. If they cross near him, he'll hear it and he'll pick them off. And the remainder of the team won an objective. Killinger, Woods, Kenzai, all taking this upper floor of the centre house. Woods looking off to the west, not going to do him much good, but he doesn't know that yet. Killinger looking out over tank towards the spawn house. And Kenzai's just going to keep an eye on the stairs, make sure nobody's going to come up and flank. This is a minute and a half into the round. Have you ever had a round where on Suburbia you've gone this far in without hearing so much as a smoke, a shot, a grenade, a stun?
No, no, not at all. But this just shows the restraint and professionalism that these guys kind of hold. Like, I just get antsy and I'm like, it's a short map, I can get a smoke over there. I just like have to throw a grenade or throw a smoke. But these guys are holding their cool.
Surprisingly, Operator decides to peek just then and not the person with the shield. Very surprising stuff. He throws a smoke and he's met with a grenade as he throws another grenade out, or is it a smoke? Smoke straight onto Small's position. It's not going to do much to disrupt Small defending this lawn, but he's going to be tempted to peek, and it costs him because he's hit by a grenade. Fantastic grenade. You can see that they time those grenades perfectly to explode in the air, which is exactly what you want to do when someone's hiding behind something. Scooby-Doo's running madly across the road, but Killinger able to stop him crossing, not utilising that shield as much as he should have. Operator now doing the same thing, thinking about the cross. He sees a dead body in front of him, so he's going to be scared of that cross now. We have Peasley moving forward. This Volk player is dead. Peasley moving forward off objective, which is very surprising. You'd think he would stay on objective, but they're thinking about holding off a lawn cross. Woods circles in on the tank to supply some pressure. He's able to take out 1 player by the look of it. So 3 Marsoc players remaining. They're going to centre house. It's just been called out. Icy Woods holding up the back as 1 player moves into the centre. Weather Balloon takes out 1 Volk player as he crosses up the road, takes out another Volk player. And all of a sudden it's just 2 Volk players remaining. Woods 43 in the garage area. Lonely Viper taking out Woods. We just saw the defense of Volk absolutely collapse. That was a colossal litany of bad decisions by Volk. They just started to panic. They were in a very healthy position. They could have held that house, picked off some shots, had Peasley stay on objective, and instead he moved forward off objective, got himself shot, poked his head. All of the Volk are down. This was an interesting round. You saw Boss Fight working as a team, and you saw you saw the beginners starting to panic, which is something we haven't seen them do. You saw them running around madly when all those smokes were dropped. Peasley moving off objective where it's safe to be and he can pick off shots as people flank. He moved into the front yard, and then he moved off that front yard hedge, and it completely exposed himself. He would have known at that point that there were people in that centre house, so he would have known they would have had eyes on him. So very misfortunate for beginners. Sad to see, but they have still won this entire match, so it's not the end of the world. It's only 1 point. Let's see if they can recoup as Marsoc. Tangle, what do you take about 5 people all going that eastern flank?
It's actually pretty good strategy on these closer maps. You can really put pressure, just hit them hard and fast. So it does work. It can work, and they're well versed in it. So it's actually a pretty cool strategy. But you've got to know your team.
Yeah, absolutely. Just going to place a camera around here because you can actually cap from behind these sandbags if you're in the right position, and I'll place one over this side as well because quite often people try and push. Shots out early from Volt. They're getting aggressive with their defense now too. Interesting to see as Weather Balloon takes the lower part of the centre house and Icy Woods takes up the upper floor. Smoyle's pushing around. He's going to take pressure from Icy Woods very soon. He's going to have to look out for that window if he's not careful as we move back towards the objective. The other 3 Marsoc players.
I think we've got the names around the wrong way.
Oh, they're the wrong ways around? Sorry about that. I'll fix it up. Yeah, you are right. Peasley and Killinger definitely beginners, not boss fights. So I'll get that around the right way. Sorry about that.
He's in between sickness spot and burning house somewhere there.
Alright, Peasley calling out those positions. It looks like we have lost 1 player to Icy Woods. Icy Woods able to get a shot out. Smoyles now still in the same position. I think it was the other player passing Smoyles. Smoyles knows where he is. Is he going to try and peek him? He is. He pushes, and he's able to cross. As we see the other Marsoc players now moving east. 1, 2, 3, now thinking about that eastern flank as Smoyles is able to push up on Icy Woods. Icy Woods not able to see Smoyles crossing. Not a bad thing. Icy Woods did the right thing by deciding to fall back. Smoyles, it looks like, deliberately blind firing just in a random direction to bring out Icy Woods. I'd say Smoyles probably misfired a little bit in that he should have maybe fired towards the fountain or in the other direction, so Icy Woods didn't think it was directly at him. There we go. There are the shots just randomly at the fountain, trying to convince Icy Woods, hey, I don't know what's going on. Maybe you should peek this window, have a little look, and pick up a free kill. Smoyles not quite tempting enough. The rest of Marsoc now slowly pushing in as we return to the map. 1 at Red Car, 1 taking lane 2, I believe that is, and 1 in the playground area behind the hedges. 1 more player now moving up to lane 4 as Smoyles continues to tempt Icy Woods. Icy Woods isn't having it. He doesn't care. Take your time. You can have that area if you want it. I've already got my free kill. I'm not letting any of my Volk players die. 5v4 is the situation at the moment as the rest of Marsoc slowly form a line. We now see a very healthy line of Marsoc players, which is exactly what you want as an assaulting team. Smoyles gives up on the ruse and he continues on this eastern flank. He's going to try and peek. Nobody's up on the rooftop here, up on the top floor here, so he's going to be safe from the spawn house. He drops a smoke to distract by the looks of it. Icy Woods had peeked at that point. Smoyles is just staring at that window as Icy Woods gets tempted. He inches forward. He's trying to peek. And Smoyles just preemptively fires. He may have been better off just waiting just a moment to try and tempt Icy Woods out, but now Icy Woods knows the jig is up. Smoyles moving in on the spawn house. Looks like he's going to try and come in for a assault on that top floor, but Weather Balloon is right down here. Look at this. As soon as Smoyles peeks, it is all over. But no, Dr. Killinger able to assault him as well. Grenade out, not sure whose grenade that was, but Smoyles is going to go in for the res. So 2 people now on this centre house. Lonely Viper is looking at the front, so if they go and try and go up the stairs, it's possible Lonely Viper is going to be able to pick them off. Scooby-Doo is looking towards the playground area, so he has the other 2 Marsoc players covered. Grenade out, unsuccessful grenade as Killinger goes upstairs. He's now upstairs. Is he going to be able to get Icy Woods? Icy Woods now peeking. Kill for kill. So So now we have 3 Marsok people assaulting. Viper shots out. Operator now knows exactly where Smalls is as well, so Operator's going to be able to get shots on Smalls very soonly. If he peeks, Smalls wisely gets to the ground. Viper peeking. He doesn't know exactly where Smalls is. Grenade out, another impressive grenade. Not sure who threw the grenade, but it was very good stuff. Operator, if he peeks, he'll have a shot on Smoils. Smoils calls out Operator's position. Scooby going for the res. Viper was able to see everything as he was down, so Viper no doubt has a very good bead on Smoils. Wouldn't be surprised if a grenade comes out right now. Smoils going in for the kill. Smoils able to pick off Lonely Viper. Operator, is he going to... Operator able to take down Smalls. Very nice work from Operator. Not overextending, not peeking too early. Let's not remember, this is the objective. They need to cap it. 1 minute 18 to go. Scooby-Doo, last man standing. Last man along with Operator standing. But last man on the objective. So these two, if they take their time, they might get a cheeky cap. They take out Scooby-Doo, and then all of a sudden, Operator has to make a decision. Do I run for objective, or do I kill myself? He moves up to tank, which is a great position to be in. Scooby-Doo able to take out one of the Marsok players, so one Marsok player left. It is Peasley. It is all down to Peasley. He's now no longer looking for a cap situation, he's looking for a kill. Scooby-Doo goes into a position that's very hard to attack as a Marsok player, that little courtyard area, as he comes in with the smoke. Peasley walking in, Scooby-Doo has a beat on him, and Scooby-Doo was always going to get a bullet on Peasley from that position. Peasley just didn't have his gun up quite quick enough, so even though it was kill for kill, that's exactly what needed to happen for that Vault team.
Real quick, that's 2 to boss fight, isn't it? Because we've got the names
That's
wrong?
correct, yes. So let's get that around.
Let's get, yeah. I'm very easily confused, so we need to change that, or I'm going to sound very quickly. Or should I say sillier?
Yep, so, Team 1, Marsok boss fight, Team 2, Beginners 0. So, this is something we didn't see first 2 maps, and that's boss fight, getting into dominant positions, winning gun battles, and getting into capping situations, and now it's 2-0, Beginners and boss fight. Looks like all of our cameras can remain, they're all still there, which is fantastic, as we have another Eastern spawn over here for Marsok. Let's see a repeat. Okay, so Scooby-Doo with the shield again. And we're going to have all 5 of them deciding to take this Eastern Road yet again. Very interesting stuff. Tangled, how do you think it's going to go this time?
I think it's going to go well. They've rehearsed this definitely, and they know where the objective. And Scooby is actually a master and a pistol shot, so you might think he's doing weird things with it, but I think you'll find that he just so using it, he knows how to use it.
Now, I was going to say, nobody on objective defensively. Killinger, Kenzai have eyes on objective, but not actually on top. Killinger slowly moving in now as somebody tosses out a grenade that is unsuccessful with a connection, but still an intimidating grenade nonetheless. Killinger now moving up closer to objective. Very risky thing to be this far away from the objective, but he does have a sight on anyone trying to cap this wall, as you can see through the hedge, and shoot through it too. So a good spot for Killinger. He's got to be worried about blind grenades and also peeking. If anyone was at this lane, if he pokes his head, he's in big trouble. Smoke causing a little bit of confusion for Killinger, convincing him to peek. Like I said, if someone was in that area, they would be in a lot of strife right now. Small's in a position I've seen you in before, Tangled, right next to this house. You can duck under this window here and get a nice little sight of anybody trying to cross by as we hear our shots out. Finally, no one connecting by the looks of it. Killinger has been tagged, so he's taken 1 bullet, grenade out. Well, Killinger was saved on quarantine by a grenade that landed maybe 2 meters away, and this time he went down to a grenade, probably 4, 5, 6 meters away. So unfortunate death from a grenade, death from above as it were. Killinger under pressure from Weather Balloon as Scooby-Doo comes in with the shield on this side. Now let's just go over to Scooby-Doo's point as we see. Oh, he is taken out, looks like by another grenade, another shot. Oh, Smoils. Really, really impressive flank there by Smoils. I did miss that, but it looks like, I believe Smoils was right here somewhere. Oh no, he was over in Centre House, wasn't he? He was somewhere here, wasn't he? That was him crawling by the Centre House? Yeah. So he's either
Push straight
pushed this
across.
way or through the house and just come up right behind everybody and picked them all off. In fact, that's exactly what he's done. As you can see, he's picked off another kill here, followed around, and a shield's very handy unless you're facing it in the wrong direction. So Smoyle's able to take out, I think, 3, 4, 5 kills. Let's have a look at the kill feed. Do we have it up yet? Looks like the kill feed may be glitching out. Let's jump into the lobby to have a look. Smoyle's... No, 0 kills. Not quite sure what's going on there. Killinger 4 kills. And you see over on the Volk team, boss fight, very even. 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. You want a nice spread out kill count like that. It means your team's all working together. You're spreading out the load. You also see 3 heals there. Also very impressive. But the most important stat of all, Smoyle's stat. 0 deaths. I think maybe his stats might have been reset. They must have been, because I'm pretty sure he has died already.
Reset, definitely.
Looks like Peel's not ready. They're starting already. Okay, Peel's has dropped back in. So, center house objective. Very interesting stuff. I'll just race in really quickly and try and get a few cameras set up for us. Let's just pop one right here real quick. Oops, sorry. Unable to get the camera in. That's okay. I'll just pop it right here for now. I'll pop one there. As we drop down, round has started, 6 minutes, counting down as we speak. I'll pop our other camera right here. As we see Volk running into this center house. Shots out early, they are blind shots, sometimes they connect, sometimes they don't. Icy Woods taking the lower floor of this objective. Is he going to go up now? Yes, he goes up now. Lucky nobody pushed that center house early, because he would have come into contact with an enemy player. Smoyle's now over on the truck side of the building, which is the west side. He's basically protected from that window right now, so Smoyle's looking good to push south, further south. Scooby-Doo right here on the front lawn. Out of position to the shoot. We can see Volk just swarming, but it really doesn't seem to be an organised swarm. It's just random Volk people everywhere, and now they start to get into an organised fashion. There we go. Icy Woods covering off the window. Scooby-Doo will be looking out the other window. Operator holding off the stairs, and Weather Balloon covering both north and south doorways. And our last player, Lonely Viper, taking off this tank. Tangled, what do you think about this defense so far as we look at the map for Marsok's attack?
I think this is what you're going to have to do. You want to end the fight in that house, and then you have Viper who can give you some vital intel. Get ready, guys, they're coming in, I've seen them. I think this is going to be the only way they defend this this objective without losing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Kenzai, Killinger and Peasley all not doing much right now. They're all the way back. Peasley was actually all the way back still at spawn for the longest time. Not sure if he was frozen or away from keyboard or just holding back, blind firing down this alleyway. But now they're starting to think about their push as we see Killinger cross the road, and the other two start to think about their push as well. Smoyles, blind shots I believe from Smoyles just towards that house, and they're being returned by the looks of it Icy Woods. Not quite sure whose shots were out. Woods 43 now pushing up to this hedge. It's not going to do him much good because there's nothing to peek at. There's nobody here. The only guy he has to worry about, I believe, is Weather Balloon, which is in a position to pick off anybody deciding to come through this door. So Woods is going to have a confrontation with Weather Balloon soon. Lots of shots out, not much doing with it. We see Viper is trying to peek this tank every now and then. A bit of a risky thing to do. You'd think it might be better to try and just stay at that tank and hide for a little bit longer and peek maybe a minute later in the game so people don't quite know where you are. But we can see now that Marsok attack is starting to firm up, but we still have two people here just holding back. I think maybe they're worried about a flank perhaps, but we have a healthy line here of Marsok players as we see one rotate backwards, one rotate forwards. Interesting move there, not quite sure what's going on. Lonely Viper obviously getting nervous. No need to enter the house with all four other players in there already, but he's just keen to secure a win, maybe secure a map, so he's going to take up that front porch as we see the rest of Marsok now finally converging on this house. Woods peeking windows, one peek, falls back, not committing too much. Now moving forward, no doubt Weather Balloon would have heard that. Is he going to creep out? Not by the looks of it. Weather Balloon's taking his time. He can hear all of this, so Weather Balloon being incredibly patient. As we look on the west of the map, someone's peeking out now. They're going to be moving around. I think that's Smoils. Killinger getting into this doorway. Weather Balloon, not fussed. Kenzai now moving in with the smoke. Killinger, very impressive kill there. I don't know how he knew a player was there, but he just blind fired this corner and was able to pick up a kill. Grenade at the bottom of the stairs here. Lonely Viper's still alive. He took out Killinger, but Killinger's now been revived. He's going to meet up with Viper. Viper able to tap out Killinger. Killinger's Sixth Sense not coming into play there, and he was taken out by Viper. Viper able to get another kill as Smoils runs in. Viper misses the shot. I think Smoils caught him unawares going for the reload. So now we have 2 Volk upstairs defending this objective. And 1 downstairs. I see Woods taken out by Smoils. He was also caught unawares. So now we have 2. Both of them are in the same room. No, one's moved up. Yeah, no, both are in the same room. One's taken out by gunfire. So it looks like beginners might be able to pick up another point here. I was about to point out that if a grenade thrown upstairs, it would have taken out both players, but there's only 1 left, so not much Marsok have to worry about them. Smoils just thinking about this attack. I believe he's the last guy remain. No, there's 2 Marsok remaining, so they should be coordinating with each other. But Smoils doesn't have to. He's got it covered. He's going to blind fire, absolutely unload his gun, take out the last player. Oof. It was a slow assault from the beginning there from beginners, but they really crunched at the same time. Something worth noting: one of the players peeked this window, but didn't overcommit. As soon as he peeked, he moved back. The Viper was right here. If he had have overcommitted, Viper could have peeked, or they could have run into each other, and he would have died for nothing. But he moved back, came into this position, and held strong. Killinger, I don't know what was going on there. He had some kind of sixth sense. He was able to just blind fire this corner, take out a player, but unfortunately Viper took him out shortly after. He was able to be rezzed and still have an effect on the game, but still impressive blind fire from Killinger. I'd say maybe he heard something, or perhaps the body was clipping through the wall. So we have a northwest objective now. Defensively, Tangled, you see people staying on this road a lot more often than pushing forward, don't you?
Yeah, you do. They hang out in that white car, and they do push just across the road to the white fence. But they do tend to hang around it because you can get so much. You can see when they're crossing, you can see when they're coming forward, and you can really pick them off, put pressure on them, and force them back, and either kill them or lead the time out. Yeah,
absolutely. We're seeing some really typical positions here as Smalls hides behind white car. Kenzai's a little bit out of position at this block here. If he pokes, he'll be seen. You can do that via hedges, but Killinger, very traditional spot for a Volk player, and as you can see, I believe that was a Scooby-Doo grenade. I could be wrong there. Completely expected. Please, Tangle, talk about this position right here. Killinger was taken out on the truck bar.
That is a very key point. A lot of people don't check it, especially beginners or people that don't have map experience. They walk straight past it there, and you'll get shot right in the back of the head. And you can clean up a whole team just by hiding in that little
absolutely. So Bossfight showing their map awareness, throwing a blind grenade to this spot, and then double tapping the body. Really impressive stuff. I believe Smoils is calling out for support on objective. Someone calling out for support on objective as the crush appears to be really pressuring Smoils and Kenzai. As we look at the map, let's just have a look at our defensive players. They're still holding back. These two. One holding off a plank, the other one's going to poke this alleyway very soon. In fact, I think he's about to. Person on objective is down. Person on objective is down. Apologies for having the map up, but Kenzai able to pick off another player. Lonely Viper has been downed, I believe. No, Lonely Viper's still up. Kenzai spots Lonely Viper, but no shots out. They didn't. It looks like Viper's down as well. Nobody heard Kenzai's shots, which is surprising. Two more Marsok players down. Scooby-Doo now the only player left. He's got his shield up and snaking it. You don't see that very often. He's going to go and try and go in for the cap. He's going in for the position, but Kenzai able to see him through the smoke. Very impressive stuff from Kenzai. Very nice work. Woods heals himself, not that he has to. It's 3-2. Beginners to boss fight. Kenzai was going in for that cap. I guess that was a do or die from him. A bit of a panic move, do you feel, Tangled, or a calculated risk?
I think a calculated risk that did under panic.
Absolutely. I mean, as far as he was aware, he didn't see anybody in this area, and then he had all of this smoke covering off that balcony. So if he was going to go for a cap, that was the time to do it. Unfortunately, they were able to see through the smoke and secure the kill.
I think his shield gave him up then. I think the shield was just too big and black, and they knew. They knew.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. The shield can be very handy when capping because it goes onto your back, and you can actually turtle up. That's exactly right. And basically, nobody can shoot you from the back. So didn't work out for him that time because he was holding it a little too high. I'll just pop one camera there. And we'll chuck one more camera back here, and then we'll have a look at what Marsok's doing. So as we go to the map again, very aggressive Marsok pushes on the west side. Looks like he's taken up that hedge position. You can basically get some free kills down this alleyway. We saw a blind grenade go down to that truck. Maybe someone's going to think about a blind grenade down to that hedge as well. Next Marsok player's taking up this hedge. This allows you to see down this this alleyway. So 2 alleyways. Apologies for the cough. 2 alleyways covered off by 2 Marsok players, and then we see some very slow pushing from the rest of the team. We've seen this before. 1 at red car, 2 more all the way back at spawn. I guess they're just waiting for some comms, some information, something. Let's just bring up some comms on one of the teams. Let's bring up, I think that is, actually, we'll go beginners. Let's just have a listen to what's going on. Now, as far as shots out.
Pizza, your watch person is...
Doesn't sound like those shots were at anything in particular, just sort of blind fire coming from Scooby-Doo towards Smoils and vice versa. Smoils just reaching out towards Scooby-Doo as Woods peeks his corner. Bit of a delayed kill. Yeah, surprising both of those guys didn't die because they're both very open. Both missing their shots as well as we hear the call out, 1 in the middle lane. Grenade out. Scooby-Doo is pushing in on that Marsok player. He'd already been winged, so that grenade actually killing him. Scooby-Doo moving down to check this this doorway here. It looks like he's thrown a grenade. No grenade. Alright, they're calling out a res as Smoils finally able to take out that window. He'd been dying to do that all round. And finally he's able to do it, but unfortunately a grenade topping him off in the process, so he's now dead as well. Looked like he'd been winged. Grenade's all it took to kill him. 3 Marsok players remaining. Dr. Killinger, Kenzai and Peasley remaining. Boss fight looking to get 3 points to 3 on this last map and maybe recoup some points. Scooby-Doo taking up the tank position. The rest of the team holding back on objective. Operator behind objective. Weather balloon behind this fence. You can see through the fence, you can shoot through the fence, but you can be shot through the fence as well. As the rest of Marsok take possession of the center house. We now have 2 Marsok at center house and then 1 coming in for this flank. If he's able to push in this way, these 2 guys aren't going to be able to see him if he's aggressive enough. It looks like he's coming through the park. He might go for a peek, but if he's able to double back and get towards this side of the house, he might be able to run in without being seen. Interesting to see what Peasley decides to do. He goes for the peek. Both other players at the center house. One of them has been tagged. So if they take a single shot, they're dead. Blind fire's out by the sounds of it, just prodding towards the garage area. It looks like one of them has moved forward. Yeah, operator has moved forward. He's now exposed on objective, which is a risky thing to do. As we return back to the east, let's see what Peasley's doing. He's just holding his position, holding his own. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the guys at center house might be able to pick off a garage kill, but here it is. This is exactly what I was talking about. Peasley is able to move out on the west here. I don't think anyone's going to be able to see him if he kept pushing Let's just move back on a pistol fire coming out by one of the players. Don't know if they've run out of ammo or if it's just distractionary fire. Weather balloon now looking out to the east, but it might be too late. Peasley might be in a position where he's able to push through. Would have been nice to see Peasley push a little bit earlier, but unbeknownst to him, there's only 2 people not looking in his direction, so you can't really blame him for holding off this push. It's going to be effective if Weather Balloon can be dealt with. Is Peasley going to be able to take out Weather Balloon, who's right at this window? He is about to peak. Weather Balloon has now peaked. He's moving up, moving up. Peasley moving in. Has he seen him? Yes, very nice work. Peasley, Peasley using those hedges to catch him unawares. Kenzai moving in an objective now too. Operator in a very, very, very bad position. He's very open right now. He's going to be able to be taken out very easily. As we see from his point of view, he's being swarmed by enemy players. Very, very scary stuff as Peasley comes around the back. You can actually cap from the back of this house. You can cap from this back window, so it'll be interesting to see. Will Operator die or will Peasley get the kill? Very tense stuff. I'm not sure what's going to happen because Killinger is creepy crawling all the way up to Operator as well. Operator just on that objective as Peasley. Creeping, creeping, creeping. Kenzai also creeping forward. Apologies, Kenzai creeping forward. He's coming. He's got 2 enemy players right in his position and he has no idea, and that is the end of that. Boss fight was eliminated. Beginners get a clean sweep. They are moving onward and upward on the Onward Master League ladder. They'll be heading up the leaderboard. Boss fight. Very, very unfortunate stuff from them. Not able to secure a single map, which is something you do not see a team like them doing very often. But Beginners, just a more impressive team on the night. Really impressive stuff. United attacks, good defense. They're a bit of a slow start on this Suburbia. I thought maybe boss fight we're going to pick up a map, but not to be. As we head over to the final score, we'll just bring up the score there. It was 4-3. Was it 4-3? Sorry, Tangled.
Oh, that one?
Yes. 4-3? Was it 4-2?
I believe so.
Oh, I'm getting old. I'm gonna say.
I'm getting older.
I think it might have actually been 4-2, because apologies, viewers. But the important side of things, I guess, is Beginners able to get 13 points plus 3 bonus points, which gives them 16 points for the Onward Master League leaderboard. And as we cross over to the leaderboard here, we can see as we move down, they've only played 3 matches. They have 56 points, which is Beginners, sorry, 50 points. You can see up the top here, Lemon Squad have played 5 games. They have 67. Gunning and Empty 5 games, 57. Legionnaires 5 games, 52. Beginners have done that in 3 matches. They've now added 1 more match to their list of caps, and I think that's 16 points, which puts them at 66 points. First place, 4 matches. Very, very impressive scores from the Beginners. And as we look over to boss fight, you can see they were in a very, very good position. You can see on their games played, they won every match by 15 points, 15, 15, 15, getting them to 14 points. I think they've just picked up, as we go back to the score, I believe they just picked up another 5 or 6 points. So they're going to be moving up the leaderboard as well, but nowhere near as much as they wanted to. They'll be at 51 points, which is going to escalate them up maybe to a top 5 position. Not quite sure after all the points are said and done, but disappointing for boss fight. It's okay if you lose a couple of maps, if you can do it 3-3 and maybe pick up a 4. That's 10 points, but unfortunately just 5 or 6 points for them. Very disappointing to see. Tangled, what did you think about that little interaction between those 2 teams?
I think that was just some classy high level onward fights. It was actually good to watch. I know that, like you said, the score doesn't actually tell you the whole story about how good these teams actually are. But you say either of these names to people playing in the pubs, and chills run down their spine.
Yeah, absolutely. Very disappointing that we couldn't see more points on the board for boss fight because it does not represent the amazing skill that that team has. It's just beginners had the goods. Quarantine, they were very impressive from the get-go. Boss fight a little slow finding their feet. They continued that on Bazaar. Much tighter match, much tighter competition. But beginners just having the goods to hold on to that map. And then Suburbia, it was pretty good matchup on Suburbia. Very tight stuff, but beginners again just able to hold off that map with a little bit better attacking. I'm not sure if it was more coordinated or more ferocious, but it seemed to put boss fight off their game and proved to be what they needed to get the map, get a whitewash of the entire match, and see them moving onwards and upwards up that league ladder.
Yes, definitely. And I think the fact that these two teams have played each other so much, it's like I think they start to know how each other move, and it appears this time beginners remembered perhaps a few more moves than boss fight remembered from previous fights, and I think that may have helped them move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. As we look through the previous matches, we can see that these two teams, I think they've come across each other on a league basis, something like 16, 17 times over the course of 3 seasons, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4. And early on, beginners were not the team to beat boss fight. The first season, Season 2, they lost all 10 matches according to Onward Master League. I can't see a single match that they won going off Master League. But this time, it's beginners have begun. They're about to finish.
Yes.
They're nowhere near the beginning. Or I suppose maybe this is the beginning of their domination of Season 4, because very impressive stuff against the team. Personally, I don't want to verse boss fight. It's the team everybody knows the name of, very highly respected. And just a shame to see them unable to secure that many points for the tournament.
Yes, but still very good matches to watch, and I think a lot of people are going to take a lot away from this. It was some very interesting and entertaining gunfights.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if anyone takes anything out of this match, it's the use of utility. The smokes were used to incredibly high, very high value throws were being used. We saw a stun be used as a fake grenade, which was impressive. It was never going to stun anyone, but it was going to scare them off, give you some breathing room. You saw some really smart rotations on Bazaar where people were conceding ground and saying, you know what, you take this ground because I've got you covered the next time you come around the next corner. Really impressive stuff. When they threw a smoke, they did it in unison. You wouldn't see one smoke. You wouldn't see 2 smokes, you'd see 5, 6 smokes, and it just absolutely smothered the area, confused the defending or attacking team, put them on the back foot, and allowed them to execute their plans. I've just confirmed the score. It is 0-5, 3-4, 2-4. Beginners able to win with 13 points plus 3. That's 16 points for the league, and only 5 points for boss fight. Very disappointing, guys. That is the end of the stream. Tangled, thank you very much for adding your input into the match. It's good to have you here to talk with.
Yeah, thanks for having me. No worries. It's been a pleasure.
And we will all catch you next time. Have fun, and if you're not playing Onward, enjoy the rest of the day, the rest of the weekend, or the rest of the week. I'm going to go to sleep because it is 3:30 in the morning. Good night, everybody, or good morning. See you all later.
See you.